a circle. What do you think R means? Radius. What does radius mean?
The length from the middle to the out.
The distance from the center of the circle to the outside edge. So would this represent my radius?
Yes.
Yes. All right. What is it? Says a straight line that passes through the center of the circle and goes to the other side. What did I think I heard somebody say it? What'd you say? Diameter. No, guys, focus. Okay. C is the distance around the circle.
Circumference. We watched a video last year that was like knights and shiny barbers.
Hey, but y'all remember it. Okay, so basically, when it says the distance around a circle is circumference, that's basically just perimeter. It's just of a circle. So they want to give you a fancy word for it. All right, so if I go from one point all the way around the circle, that is my circumference. Okay, so it says using your label diagram, describe how the diameter and the radius are related. I put circumference in the middle. That is not circumference. Why didn't y'all do it? I was wondering. Then tell me, like, Miss Scruggs, you're writing the wrong word. My bad. Okay, so if I had to compare the two, what is something I could say?
That they're both on the inside.
Okay. What is the radius in relation to the diameter?
It's just the other half.
Okay, so the radius is half of the distance, right? What is the diameter? The full distance. So if I only had the radius, what would I do to find the diameter? Multiply. I would double it, right? Because if this was 5 and that's half the distance and the diameter is the full thing, what would I do? I double it, right? So the diameter, or the diameter is, do y'all want to say double or times 2?
Double.
Okay, so the diameter is double the radius. You double something by doing what? Multiplying by 2. So if I had a radius of 10, what would my diameter be? 20. Double gets bigger. Okay. So right here, it's giving us a ratio setup. It is comparing the circumference and the diameter, okay, as a ratio. So it's saying circumference to diameter. So how would I set up this ratio from circumference to diameter?
You would do 56.52 divided by 18.
Okay. What about the next one?
75.36 inches over 24.
All right. What about the next one?
113.04 over 36.
Okay. So that is just putting my circumference over my diameter. What does the next column say? Ratio simplified. How do I simplify? Yep, I divide. Okay, so looking at that first one, 43.96 divided by 14. All right, well, how many times do you think 14 could go into 43? Okay, 4. 3. It's 12, 42. That's as close as I'm going to get, right? I'm going to go 3. How many times can 14 go into 19? Once. About 56.
3. 4.
So 3.14 is the ratio simplified. Okay, so let's look at the next one. 56.52 divided by 18. How many times do we think 18 can go into 56? Okay, so it goes in 3 times. It gives me 54. How many times can it go into 25? Once. 72. 3 times got me 54. 4. So it's 3.14. We making any connections yet? They're all going to be 3.14. What is 3.14? It's the abbreviated version of pi, pretty much, right? Okay, so pi never ends. It keeps going. It's an irrational number. Okay, so what patterns do you notice regarding the circumference and the diameter of each tire? So what do we notice? Well, they all end up, if you simplify it, they all what? 3.14. So when I divide my circumference, so when the circumference is divided by the diameter, it results what does approximately mean? Close, about, estimated, rounded. All right, so 3.14 or pi. You are going to need this on your homework. You're going to need to know this statement right here. Hudson starts by it. Just a bunch of stars.
Oh, that's pi.
So the circumference divided by diameter.
Cheyenne broke the thing.
I didn't break it. Watch, that's why we can't have anything nice. It spilled a lot.
Okay, let's turn it over.
That's a lot of stars.
Okay, circumference. The circumference of a circle is the distance around the circle. It can be found using 2 formulas. Okay, so the first one is circumference equals pi times diameter. We take the diameter, we multiply it by pi. What if it gave me the radius? What did we say you had to do to the radius to get your diameter? Double it. So we would double pi times radius. That should be an R. I messed up my R. If my radius was 5, what would my diameter be?
10.
So if I had a radius and I multiplied it by 2, would that give me 10? Yes.
So that's supposed to be an R.
Yes, I just messed it up. So pi can be approximated to, what did we say pi is approximately? 3.14. Okay, I want you to box in this too because you'll need it on your homework. A lot of people came and asked me in terms of pi.
Is this our homework?
Nope, this is your notes.
How many questions are on the homework?
5,
6,
7,
8,
9.
8.
8 or 9.
I knew it.
3 of them are multiple choice.
You should have put the thing on.
The thing was
Okay, so circle 1, what is it giving me?
The
The radius. So which formula should I use?
C equals 2 times, or 2. C equals pi times x. Yeah.
2 pi r, right? Because r means radius. It gave me my radius. So if I had to plug in my values, I have 2 times 3.14 times what? 6. Okay. When it says in terms of pi, that means you multiply everything but pi. So what's 2 times 6? So this is 12 pi. So when it said leaves in terms of pi, it's saying figure out basically your diameter and leave the pi symbol right beside it. That's it.
What does pi really stand for? Or is it just pi?
3.14, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. We'll look into that later. Okay, so circumference. So now I have to solve. So now I do 3.14 times 12. All right, so it gives me 8, 2, and 6. And then 3.14. Okay, where's my decimal go?
And between the 6, or it goes 37.68.
Why?
Because 3.4 is now.
There's only 2 decimal places.
This is wait, where'd you get 18? That's a 12. Oh. I was thinking 8. She marked it out.
Wait, wait. Oh, yeah, I marked it out because I was done with it. Okay, what's my formula for circle 2?
14 is the diameter.
So which?
C equals pi diameter. Pi times 14.
Pi times diameter. So I plug in my value. So that's 3.14 times 14. All right, so in terms of pi, how would I write that? 14 pi. That's it. Okay, so circumference. So to find the circumference, I take 3.14, multiply it by 14.
So if it's diameter, you don't have to change anything because that's your answer already kind of for that.
For in terms of pi, yes.
Well, I got 44 point. You're chilling.
Do you see where you added wrong or multiplied wrong?
I got hit by Todd.
I'm so tired right now. I wrote 45, 99.
All right, so circumference. My formula is what? 2 pi r gave me the radius. All right, so then I plug in my values. 2 times 3.14 times what? 3.5.
Yeah, how do you know it's going to be an R or a D?
Because r is when it gives you only half of the distance. The diameter gives you the full distance. Okay? So in terms of pi, what do I have to do?
You have to multiply 3.5 times 2.
3.5 times 2, which is what?
7.
7. So 7 pi. And then to find my circumference, I just multiply.
7 times 3.14. I remember teaching this to us first. But she said we don't have to do that. We'll learn it next year.
It's true.
Well, here we are. Okay. So, a Ferris wheel travels in a circular motion and measures 40 meters from the top car. So, from the top car to the bottom car, it measures 40 meters.
So that's the diameter.
That's the diameter. So, what is the length of the diameter? 40 meters. So, what is the length of the radius? 20. Good. All right. So a car travels one time around the Ferris wheel. So if I go, this car travels all the way around one time. What is that asking for?
How much is circumference?
Circumference. So how many meters did the car travel? So circumference equals what?
2 pi.
Does it give me my diameter?
Yeah.
Okay.
5 times diameter.
5 times diameter. So it's 3.14 times what?
Times 40.
Times 40. So how many meters did the car travel?
Yeah. I heard right over there.
Guys, y'all gotta make sure your phones are silenced. All right. On another Ferris wheel, a car will travel 100.48 meters to go once around the wheel. Going around the wheel means what?
Circumference.
So it gave me circumference. So if circumference is pi times diameter, it's giving me circumference, and it's wanting to know what the diameter is. So instead of having an x to solve for, stop, guys. I'm solving for what? The diameter. So what could I divide by?
3.14 divided by, or 100.48 divided by pi.
This one will also help you on your homework. Okay, what do I have to do first?
Move the decimals over.
Move the decimals over. So I have 10048 divided by 314. Okay, it can't go into 100, so I'd have to be starting to look at it at 1004. I would try 3 because 300 times 3 gives you what? 900. And is that pretty close?
Yeah. I have it.
Don't say it yet. We said 3. 12, 4, and 9. So 942. Guys, stop. Jace, go sit down, please. Jace, go sit down.
I was asking you the answer.
And I'm working it out, and you're going to see.
Was it correct? You'll see.
So it's my diameter.
32.
I got it correct.
Okay. I'm gonna pass out your homework really fast because y'all are gonna have 20 minutes. Should y'all all be able to get your homework done in 20 minutes? Yes. Okay, but before I end the video, I am going to show you exactly what to do with your homework. There's no questions about what to do.
I'm gonna be the video cut off right now.
Yeah, let's go to the bathroom for like 20 minutes.
Okay. So look right here. So it says draw a line connecting each circle to the appropriate radius, diameter, and circumference. Okay, so what is it giving me right here? The diameter. So circumference equals pi times diameter. All right, well, if it's giving me diameter, how do I know what its radius is?
It's half of that.
It's half of that. So it's, so you draw a line, circle the 7.
Why don't we just put
Okay, well, what's its diameter? It gives it to me.
14
So then what do I do with 14 to find its circumference?
times 3.14.
3.14. So whatever you get for that, you draw a line and circle it. That's what you're doing for those 3.
Mine already have like your pen marks on them. Like I could see that.
Okay. On the back, these are the ones I was saying that we like drew stars on your notes. Those that we drew stars around, that's going to help you on the back. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns?